Welcome to the Building Materials Sales and Marketing Podcast, presented by Mark Mitchell, a sales and marketing consultant who specializes in helping building materials companies overcome difficult sales problems. Mark is the author of the book Building Materials Channel Marketing and a frequent speaker at industry events.
Hello, this is Mark Mitchell from Wizard Strategy. Here it is in early January 2019. Time to get back to work tomorrow for everybody. And just thinking about this coming year, what it's going to take to be successful as a building material company. And I came up with 8 different keys to success that I think that you should pay attention to. Now, all of these keys to success are wrapped around 2 things. One, your customers today are looking for companies that will help them, number 1, to reduce waste and inefficiency, and number 2, to help them solve their problems. So they're looking beyond just a company who provides a certain type of product that they have purchased in the past. They will probably still purchase it, but if that is your total approach, you will every day become just a little less important to your customers as they are facing huge amounts of change and challenges, and they're looking for companies that can adapt to those changes and help them be more successful. So of the 8 keys to success that I see in 2019, the first one is that you will need to continually be demonstrating and proving your value to your customers. You can no longer just rely on your past reputation, your past performance, your brand name, any static or past things like that. You need to be constantly demonstrating how you provide value, how they're more successful because they do business with you, how it would be harder for them if they didn't do business with you. So you need to be constantly looking at how to demonstrate that value as well as to constantly improve the value. Or another way to look at it is to modify the value based on your customers' changing needs, which they're literally changing on almost a daily basis right now. So need to be constantly reinforcing why you're the best company to do business with. The next key to success is improving your customer service and what I'll call your in-house selling capabilities, so your customers can talk to you when they want to talk to you and the way they want to talk to you. So fewer customers today will have time to meet with your salespeople for a sales call, and they also, when they're ready to move or they need a piece of information, they don't want to wait for a return phone call. They don't want to wait for someone to get them an answer. They want to be able to get in touch with somebody right away, get the answer, and move on. So the companies that have the best customer service, the strongest in-house selling teams, I think in 2019 will see their sales and customer loyalty go up. Along that same line is the importance of being the online leader in your category. So not only would your building material customers prefer not to have to wait for an answer, not to have to wait for their sales rep to return their call or to have a sales presentation, they would like more and more to just find the information out themselves by going online. So that makes it more and more important for you to be the online leader by, number 1, having the go-to website in your category. So if you're in the door hardware category, you want to have the website that architects, builders, and contractors want to go to. That would be the number 1 site they go to. It's the easiest site to navigate, to find the information out that they need, which is information about door hardware in general, and then specifically about your product. You'll also, along those lines, want to have the best content online, the best SEO, the best email marketing, the best social media programs. Along the line, the customer wants to reduce waste and inefficiency. One way they do that is if I got a question, I can go online and get an answer They're used to doing that in their personal life, and they don't understand why they can't do it with a building material company. So the companies that get out ahead of this and stay on top will stay ahead of their competitors by making it easier for your customers to do business with you. The fourth key to success is to really pay attention to all of the new technologies that are being offered to your customers, and I'll call it third-party providers. People who are saying, let us source this for you. Applications that are saying, here's everything you need to design your project is right here. Your building, your problem is right here. If you're not in there, these new applications, new technologies, new third-party providers, they, let's say, control access to your customers. They can make it harder for you to get to have a relationship with your customers. So one, you need to be aware of all of these technologies that are coming down the road, that are here today, new ones that are being offered every day, because if you're not part of them, they're not going to go and change the way the program works just to get you in there. So keep an eye on all of these big changes in technology that are here and are coming. The fifth key to success is really important today, to have a good plan for dealing with channel conflict. You're going to find more customers are going to be buying direct. If you won't sell to them direct, they will go to your competitor and they'll keep going till they find someone. Or in some cases, some of them are large enough, like Katerra, who will just decide to make your product themselves. And so there's going to be a lot of channel conflict where you've been used to being loyal to distributors and dealers, and now you've got customers asking you to buy direct, and you've got to make a decision. I think you can be loyal to distributors, but you've got to have a plan for how you're going to do that, as well as you can go the whole other way and say you're going to go all in on selling direct in the future, or you can do a little bit of both. But I think you need to have a plan and be proactive about it, because dealers and distributors, particularly today, are going to have to continue to prove their value to customers. It's no longer that we have the product. Customers are going to start to say, how much markup am I paying you and what value am I receiving? And it's not that they aren't willing to pay. They just want to make sure that that's a value that they want. So as a building material manufacturer, you need to be thinking hard about this channel conflict and how it's coming along. Number 6 is there's going to be a lot less resistance to change. This has always been something the building materials industry is very hard to get the industry to change, to try new materials, to do things differently. Well, because of this need now to reduce waste and inefficiency, improve productivity, you're now seeing building material architects, designers, contractors, builders being much more open now to trying different materials. So in the commercial construction area, for example, you're now seeing buildings above 4 stories now being built out of wood instead of concrete or steel, even though the wood costs 20% more than concrete or steel. So this is not just about people looking for cheaper or lower cost solutions. It's looking for what they consider to be better solutions. So if you are the established leader, if your type of product is what is normally used, I would be watching my back for what will be coming at you. I would be keeping in touch with my customers, because they may even on their own be going out looking for alternatives. And if you are the challenger, you're the upstart, you're the less accepted building material, and you want to make inroads, well, this is going to be a great year to do it, because customers are now more open to change than I've ever seen them. And then the 7th key to success is just caused by a big change here. And this is how you're going to see more investors and smarter investors getting involved in building materials. So it may have started back in 2012 when you started to see investment firms decide to buy single-family homes in large quantities and get into the landlord business, which they now are in and are now actually building new homes designed for them to rent. Investors getting involved in companies like Katerra and other companies. And these are companies now that are seeing that the real opportunity here is because that we're finally going to take on all the waste and inefficiency in the industry. So if you think about, the first flat screen TV, how much that cost and how much one costs today, well, the companies that invested in the flat screen technology back when a TV was $8,000 made a lot of profit as it came down to $400. And we're going to see that same return for investors who are investing in building material companies who are looking for how do we change the way that we have designed and build buildings to reduce the waste and inefficiency. So you're going to start to see competitors that are now going to be better funded than they've ever been before. And you're going to have customers like a Katerra who is very well funded and who can be quite demanding and is not in a hurry to make a profit. They don't have to make a profit next month or even next quarter because they're looking at the big picture over the long term of how they can change this industry and how that's where the real profit is for them. So keep an eye out for competitors and new types of customers and just watch where investors' money goes in the building materials industry. And the eighth and final key to success is how you have to adapt to the changing market, which is being driven primarily in commercial and residential new construction, which is being held back by the shortage of labor. Because of that, now there's a demand for new houses, a demand for commercial buildings. There's not enough labor. So now they're figuring out how to fix that. And the way they're fixing that is through off-site, panelized or modular construction, which requires less labor and less skilled labor. It is working for them. They aren't going to go backwards. They're getting a better building at a lower cost. They're getting it built faster. So this is happening and it's going to continue to explode. You can see some big companies like Katerra and Tekra, some other companies that maybe are right in front of you. But what amazes me is every week how I'm seeing little small movements this way across the country. I was talking with a builder in the Midwest, and they told me that they can't find enough framers at any price. So they went to their lumber dealer who does their trusses and said, we would like to put you in the framing business. Let's work together so you can frame our houses. So boom. Now this site builder is not going to say that they're off-site or factory built, but they are moving in that direction with the help of a local lumber dealer, and it was the builder's idea. I was with a successful drywall contractor who showed me literally a factory that he has added on to his offices, in which he is now designing and assembling wall panels for commercial buildings that are pre-finished, insulated. They're ready to go. The openings for windows and doors, everything is there. They show up on a flatbed truck and the crane lifts them into place. And so here's just an entrepreneur who saw a need, went to some general contractors and owner developers in his market, said, I think I can do this for you. Would you be interested? And they said, we sure would. And now he's got a successful business. So this is happening all over the place. And what I don't see is building material manufacturers is being aware of this or keeping up with it. When I went through the drywall contractors' production facilities, I was looking at the different brand name products that he is using and his just real attention to detail. And that I asked him if any of these companies have come and worked with him and asked him what changes they could make to make his facility even more efficient or the product even better. And he said, oh, they don't even know I'm around. So it just continues to amaze me to see how people are saying, I've got a problem. I've got customers for a house. I've got customers for a building. I don't have enough labor. I've got to figure this out. And they are figuring it out. And building material manufacturers in 2019, you need to be all over this. You need to understand it, research it, be part of it, see how you can help them be more successful by using your products. And so those are the big 8 things that I think that are going to make a big difference for building material companies. Now, many people, it's easy to look at these changes and they go, oh, there the customers go. They just are looking for a lower price. And that's totally wrong. The customers are not looking for a lower price. The customers will, in fact, pay more for things. What they're looking for is the value equation is changing. And the building material manufacturers are not keeping up with the changing needs of the customer, and then being able to look and say, what should we change in our value proposition or how we go to market so that we provide the most value to the customer? So you need to ask yourself, what parts of your business does the customer now value less than they did in the past? And what are those costing you? And if you got rid of those or moved away from them, what would you move toward? Another way to look at that is to say, what can you change or offer to your customers that would have more value to your customers? They will pay either with higher prices or with added sales volume to you, or by lowering the cost to service them. So any way of those is a win for you. So that's what I think 2019 is all about, is about knowing your customers better, looking at how you can help them be more successful, with a real focus on what they're trying to do is to reduce waste and inefficiency and really dramatically change how we design and build buildings. And the companies that are on top of this are the ones who are going to do the best in the coming year. So I hope this has been helpful to you. And I look forward to having you hopefully tune in the future and seeing you at some trade shows or things this year. And please, if there's a subject you'd like me to write about or speak about, please contact me and let me know. And in the meantime, if you feel your company could benefit from some outside thinking to help you get a better perspective on your customers' changing needs and how you can be more successful, that's what I'm here for. So please contact me and be happy to talk to you about how I can help you.
Thank you for listening to this podcast from Mark Mitchell on building materials, sales, and marketing. We hope he gave you some fresh perspectives on how to grow your sales, and will listen to future episodes.